Just so you know, this meeting is being recorded. So let's start standing up for just a moment. And I want you to, again, it helps me to just ground. So I'm going to look down at my 10 toes. Mira mis dedos del pie. And then I'm going to look and kind of spread out through my toes. So feel toe ball, heel, and just spread that weight out a little bit. And after I sort of looked at it, gotten a visual, let the head come up. And I want you almost as though the weight of the body was giving a little massage to your feet, un masaje a los pies, while you're moving side to side here just a little bit. Good. So then from here, let's go ahead and anchor your weight. I'm going into my right foot. Lift your left heel just a few times, checking in with your knee. ¿Cómo está? Good. And then from there, let's take your weight onto that other side. Lift the heel just a few times. Good. So feeling that the sits bones stay even, your hips stay even. One heel up and then the other. Good. So press that heel down and then let's rock some weight through the balls of the feet and through your heels. So just finding your weight there, taking your tailbone down, pulling your belly button in. Good. So now a little pause. Take a second, roll the shoulders a few times. Good. And then let's create a little extension and a little reach through your elbows. Good. And then a long reach through each side. Good. Still feeling the weight ground down. Beautiful. And then from there, let's take two arms and two thighs back. So brazos adelante, muslos atrás. Try this just a few times again, getting blood flow. And I'm feeling maybe your body just warming up in all of those places. Good. And then from here, let's pause down low. Place the hands on the thighs. Check your neck side to side. Check your chin down and up. And then extend the sternum up and out and exhale, release it over. Inhale, stretch. So now you're just taking this movement a little bit deeper into your back. Más profundo. Good. Good. Try that one more time. And then let's exhale. Pull the sternum up. Sweep the two arms back. Feel the arms out to the side. Feel the arms out in front. Exhale, push in. Let the heels lift as the arms float down. We'll try that a few times. Brazos arriba, your arms are up. And now we're going to pull our heels from the floor as we lift. Good. So notice if your weight pitches forward, you want to pull the sitting bones down. Good. So instead of the torso falling forward, you've grounded and held the weight through the backs of the legs to the heels. Good. All right. So then from there, we're going to pause one time here on top. Take your chin over one shoulder. Take your chin over the other shoulder. Take the chin up, trying to stay steady in your ankles, chin down. Beautiful. Exhale, release, let all of that come down. And then once again, just shift your weight side to side. And now we're going to grow that movement. Good. So I'm going to let my weight move into one foot, un pie, otro pie. While I do this, I'm going to try to keep my hips, ribs, and shoulders stacked. So as you move, see if you can gradually hold that leg up a little longer, a little higher. Good. Waking up inner thigh, outer leg on both legs. Right? So inner thigh, outer hip, both legs. Exhale and lift. Good. You can bend the knees. Exhale and lift. Good. Try this on both legs just a few more times, letting the space between your feet grow. Maybe even adding your arms up here. Good. Nice and slow, steady, easy. sort of building with gravity. Excellent. So now let's pause. Take your weight to one knee and then through to the other side. So 2 feet staying on the floor. Good. Again, just pumping through the legs, ribs and hips staying lined up. Good. And then from this position, we still have our 10 toes facing adelante, facing forward. And then you're going to sweep the arms open into a back bend. Sweep the arms and open up. Sweep the arms and open up. Sweep and open. Good. Sweep and open. Last time. Good. Hold down here. Same thing through the legs. Again, just pumping energy. Good. From the heels up through the knees into the hips so your whole body feels held by your feet. Good. 2 and 1. Let's pause in the center. Hands to the hips. Find a little flat back. Melt the top of your head down. Y vamos a mover un poco la cabeza abajo. So moving your head down. Y arriba. And then pushing through the feet. Bringing yourself up. Dos brazos. And then we're going to stretch, reach across the body. Once again, pushing through the feet to lift. Exhaling up. Good. Reaching through the ribs. So when the rib cage reaches forward, pull the opposite hip back. Good. Inhale. And then exhale. Let's try that just a couple more times. Feeling steadiness through the bottom body as you're lifting. Mientras subiendo el torso. Good. So let's exhale. Hands detrás de la cabeza. Good. Dedos entrelazados. Exhale, bring the top of the head up. Turn one set of toes out. And as you do, again, so I'm going with my right side, lado derecho. Keep the hips, ribs, shoulders lined up. Exhale, bend and open. Good. So you're going to let the arms float up and out while the knee bends. Good. So arms coming up while the knee is bending. Try that just a couple more times. Opening up while the knee is straightening. So you're finding range of motion in your shoulders. Beautiful. We're going to pause with the knee bent. So feel the knee right over your heel. Chin to the right shoulder, chin to the left shoulder. Continuing to release the neck. And then let's pull an elbow down and then stretch away. And pull an elbow and stretch away. And pull an elbow in and stretch away. A couple more. Down and up and down and up. Again, staying grounded through your feet so your hips really aren't moving here. It's just the upper body. Good. So let's pause and exhale, lift back up. Turn those feet in and try this on the other side. So you're just going to turn the opposite toes out and then steady your hip bones, your rib cage, shoulder blades. So there are 2 parallel lines, dos líneas paralelos por el torso, and then bending the knee, opening up. Good. As the knee bends, if you need to walk the foot out just a hair more to make sure your knee bend is taking your rodilla sobre tu talón. That's good. And remember that engagement of pushing through the center of your heel while the knee is straightening up. Good. This is really where we are. And then let's pause with your arms up, chin over one shoulder, chin otro hombro. And then we're going to stretch and reach away. Codo a tu muslo, elbow to the thigh, stretch and reach away. Good. So again, blood flow through your arms. Remember, through the feet, los pies, through the knees, las rodillas, or la cadera, the hips. That whole part of the body is estable. That's all stable. And then the reach is through your costillas. Good. Let's pause. Back through your center. So now bring your heels together, toes apart, and we're going to take a weight just lado y lado. So I want you to feel now inner thighs and glutes on both legs, trabajando. Good. And again, so the legs are moving. El torso está estable, is stable, right? Good. And from here, let's bend both knees. Let the torso go straight down. Mientras, while your knees are opening, están abriéndose. Good. Right over your dedos. Good. So again, feeling the inner thighs, waking up. Now let's go ahead and add our arms into this movement. Down to 3, up to 3. You can take the arms forward and now out. Brazos y arriba. Brazos y arriba. Brazos y arriba. Good. So let's hold down here and then create a sweep through your torso. So now once again, from the hips, desde la cadera, your body stays stable. And then through the front of you, through your torso, we create that movement. Sometimes when you're moving, it's most helpful to focus on where it is you're stabilizing. And then that somehow cleans up the movement. So try that one more time. And exhale. Bring yourself all the way back up. So now I'm going to turn my left toes in and my hips towards my right foot. And from here, walking maybe that foot out a little bit, I'm going to bend and straighten my knee. Good. So now this is with parallel hips. Keep reaching your front hip back, your back hip forward, your back heel into the floor to stretch your calf and Achilles. Good. Let's hold down here for a moment. Sweep the arms up and then exhale, reach your hips and your arms back as your head comes forward. So we're going to push through the feet arriba and exhale, estiramos adelante por la cabeza. Stretch forward out the top of your head. Good. Try this just a couple more times. Inspirando arriba, expirando abajo. Good. Inspirando arriba, expirando abajo. Muy bien, vamos a hacerlo otro lado. So I'm just going to take my gaze to my thumbs, pivot through my feet, and try that on the other side. So again, anchor in the hips, back heel presses down, back thigh lifts up, hips square to face the short edge of your mat. So now vamos a doblar y estirar. Good. So the knee comes over the talon. Good. And then we can add arms and stretch your head forward. Inhale and exhale, reach. Inhaling up, exhale, reach. Inhaling up and exhale, reaching. Good. One more time, inhale and exhale all the way, coming forward. Beautiful. And then from here, let's just go ahead, step your back foot in. Good. So now we're facing the short edge of the mat. 2 arms stretch up. Let's exhale, lower that down. You can move a little softly, más suave por las rodillas, a little softly here through your knees. Good. And if it feels okay, move a little bit of weight forward and back through your heels. Good. Now if you can take some weight in your hands, take your right leg and stretch, reach it back. Good. Take your left leg, reach, stretch it back. Hold for just a moment in a little plank, feeling that relationship between the head and the tail, the head coming above the shoulders, elbows pulling slightly back,
Tailbone reaching towards the heels. And then exhale, push and lift. So take the tailbone, let it rise up. Good, and then let the heels stretch and reach away from the top of your head. You're going to take the right leg and lift it while you keep the hips square, and then bend the knee, and then let's place the right foot behind your right hand, and then we'll push through the back heel and bring the weight of the body up. Warrior one. Here, give this pose 5 breaths. So the front knee bends, the back knee is straight, brazos arriba. Good. Now let's bring our hands to our hips and extend the torso forward as you lengthen both knees mientras extendiendo las rodillas. And then take your left hand down and just pause for a moment. You can take your right hand down. You could take your hands to 2 blocks. Lo que tú quieras. But lengthen out your back here for a moment. So through the hamstrings, good. Through the low back, through the bottoms of the feet, 10 toes. From here, you can now slowly melt the head down. The head melts down, but the hips are still going to reach back. And we're still going to lengthen out through the backs of the legs. Good. And now your right hand, let it reach up, or the hand of the front leg. Exhale, rotate the ribs. Take that arm up. And then you can bend the front knee. Create a little more rotation, top arm over the ear. Good. Exhale. Try this. Step your front foot back. And you're back in a down dog. And now we're going to walk our hands right, left, right, back to your feet. Inhale, looking up. Exhale. Find your weight in your heels. Move the head up. Take an Utkatasana. Exhale, find standing. And we're going to do that sequence on the other side, from the other side of the mat. I'm just turning around here. So again, stay nice and light with your feet. Lado y lado, side to side. Your ribs pulling center. Cabeza arriba. Good. So you're just moving your weight. Good. And then from here, let's inhale. Take your arms up, 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 up. A long stretch. Exhale, let's open the chest. Move down towards the floor. And once again, you can be kind of soft with the knees, almost slow dancing. Bailando despacio por las rodillas. Muy bien, nos miramos arriba, so look up for a moment, placing the hands on the floor. Step back with the left leg, step that leg down gently. Step back with your right leg, pausing for a moment in a little plank. Heels reaching back, tailbone pulling in, shoulder blades together, head reaching out. Good, let's exhale. Let the hips come up, la cadera arriba, and then through your hands, remember you push back. Good, and from here, let's lift your left leg. The hips don't open. Keep the hips square. Doblamos la rodilla. You can bend the knee. And then exhale, move the foot detrás de la mano. Put the foot behind the hand. Then we'll go ahead and plant the back heel. Turn the toes slightly out on the back foot. And then remember, push through both feet. Empujamos por los pies para subir. So right now, energy in that back heel. Stretch, estiramos la pantorrilla, stretch your calf. Estiramos atrás, la muslo atrás. So stretch that back thigh. And then your 2 manos at your cadera, so you really bring the hips as forward as you can, stretching the psoas, dos brazos arriba, take the two arms up, a big stretch. Good, let's exhale. Remember, place now if you can, hands on the hips, lengthen both knees, and bring your hands down so they can go onto two yoga blocks and go onto the floor. But start here with what we call the phase one of Parsvottanasana. So that's long lengthening of your back. So instead of rounding, letting the hips fall forward, reach the hips back and extend. Vamos a extender la columna adelante. You're going to extend your spine forward. Super bien. So from here, now let your head melt down. And when the head melts down, really, really, as much as you can, reach the left hip, la cadera izquierda atrás. Reach the left hip back. Good. Empujando el pie en el piso, pushing the heel into the floor. Super bien. Inhale, let's look up. And exhale, reach the opposite arm. So now this is my brazo izquierdo arriba, my left arm up. And then I'm going to rotate my rib cage. So it's really about the opposite ribs, the right ribs, reaching up, and then your gaze up. This will really stretch your IT band, the outside of the leg. Good. And then if it feels comfortable, you can go ahead and lift that back heel a little bit. Reach weight out, top arm over the ear. Big estiramiento. Utthita hasta Parivrita Utthita Parsvottanasana. And then exhale, releasing that hand down. You're going to step your front foot back, lifting the hips. Muy bien. Good. And from here, instead of walking your hands in, we're going to walk your feet right and left and melt the top of the head once again. Codos, you can grab onto the elbows with your dos manos, with two hands. And really move your sacrum and tailbone area up, arriba. Empujamos por los pies, we push through the feet, rising up once again. And then let's just turn for a moment towards the computer, and we're going to try, or towards the pantalla, your screen. Pull weight in one foot. I'm going with my right one. And then I'm going to take my left toes just out about 6 inches. Good, for my right foot. Or maybe it's, a foot or so. And then exhale, try to lift that up. Good, holding the hips, the sits bones steady. Maybe take your hands for a moment under your thigh. Good, so remember when we're balancing, inner thigh, outer hip, engage, and the heel presses down. Exhale, release that foot down, toe, ball, heel. Good, try that on the other side. So hands at my hips, I'm going to keep them steady. Take my right foot out, el pie derecho afuera, and then gathering that weight on my left foot, then lift the right leg, maybe just hold the right leg for a moment. Maybe hands detrás del muslo, hands behind the thigh. Good. Inner thigh, outer hip, heel presses in. So build your strength from there. Those are the 3 kind of engagements I think that help me balance. So now taking that foot down, we're gonna try lifting. So put the weight on your otro pie. So this is on my right. I'm gonna take the left leg slightly forward and then take it kind of low to the ground and try to feel, maybe even put your hands on your sits bones. Can you feel that they are even? They stay even, the hips are even. Then lift the leg a little bit higher.
Remember your heel, the inner thigh, the outer hip. Just breathe into that. Even your hands there on your sits, perhaps. 2, 1. Bend the knee. Release. Let all of that go. Then we'll try that on the other side. So the idea is that your isquiones, your sitting bones, are going to stay even while the leg lifts up. So now I'm gathering my weight on my pie izquierdo, on my left foot, and then take the right leg out. And then lift this leg and pull that sitting bone into your hand. Just breathe. Feel the shoulder blades down the back, elbows pulling together. I like this. Good. Exhale. Release. Now I'm going to turn so this is my left side in. We're going to work on warrior 3, but this time put your hands on your low back. So from the center of my mat, I'm going to step my right foot out and then push weight into my heel, gather weight into that leg, and then begin to reach your left leg back any amount. Okay, try to keep the low back level. Good. Exhale, set it down. Pivot, pivot, pivot. And then we'll try that on the other side. So heel to toe, just feel the weight in the foot. And from here, go ahead, once again, gather the weight through that left heel, into the inner thigh, outer hip, and really focus on reaching your right leg back. Good. Exhale, stepping that up. Good. And then we're going to step ourselves to the front of the mat, work on an external rotation sequence through the hips. So once again, just rock the weight, lado y lado. Again, feeling the body sort of warm and loosen, become more fluid through your movement. And from there, let's gather our 2 feet under our sitting bones, brazos arriba, arms up, tailbones down, ombligos, navels in. And then exhale, bring yourself over into a forward bend. From your forward bend, really lift the thigh bones up, 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 up. And then vamos a poner las manos. Let's put your hands on the floor. I'm going to step back, right and left. Now from here, bend the knees if you'd like. Pull your elbows to the sides of the ribs. Inhale, open your chest as you lift up. And exhale, send the tailbone all the way towards the sky. Let's lift the left leg this time. Bend the knee. Reach the knee up, really get a stretch, and then you can open that hip just any amount that feels good. And then you're going to exhale. Place the foot here back behind the hand. Turn your back toes out to face the long edge of the mat. And then exhale, pushing up. Find warrior 2. Good. So in your warrior 2, hips are going to face forward. Knee joint, la rodilla abierta, costillas alineadas, all the way up. Good. And then I'm going to exhale, bring this hand in. And so I'm taking Utthita Hasta Parsva Konasana. This sitting bone, my underneath sitting bone, is really reaching back towards my heel. The bottom rib cage is lengthening, top rib cage is pulling down. Good. Exhale, bring that hand to the hip now. Extend the bottom knee as you continue to open the chest. Your vista, your gaze can move up to your pulgar arriba, to your top thumb, pulgar arriba. Muy bien. And now aquí, place this hand here on your hip. Step the back foot in if you like, just any amount. Walk your opposite hand out, just any amount.
And you're going to continue to extend through both heels. I can feel how much my weight on my bottom foot wants to fall into my inner heel. So the work for me is really about keeping the center of the heel engaged. Good. And then from here, I'm going to exhale, slowly set that foot down and reach through my opposite foot. Bring myself back up. Turn towards the other short edge of my mat and move my weight there. So now once again, just staying nice and light. With these little movements, these rocking actions, kind of check in. How are your wrists? ¿Cómo están tus muñecas? How are your elbows, your shoulders, la cadera? Good. So find in that slow motion. Where is your body? How is your body? Muy bien. And then desde aquí, so from here, brazos arriba, take the arms up. Coccyx abajo, tailbone down. Heels ground into the floor. Thigh bones lift from the front. Muy bien, arriba, arriba. And then exhale, doblamos el torso. You fold the torso over. Good, a nice long stretch. Nos miramos arriba. Let's look up. Miramos arriba. And then exhale, abajo otra vez. Place your hands. Vamos a colocar las manos detrás debajo de los hombros. Take your hands under your shoulders. Bend your two knees. And now we'll step back with the feet, right and left, through a plank. Once again, if you'd like, let the knees come down. Pull your codos adentro. Pull the elbows in. Now lift the sternum up, 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 up. And from there, la cadera arriba, your hips up. Beautiful. So now my right leg is going to lift, and then the knee is going to bend, and then I'm going to lift and open it so I get un poco más estiramiento, a little bit more stretch through my hip. Muy bien. Desde aquí, let's take that foot back down behind your palma derecha, and then turn your back toes out. And then again, you're going to push through that heel to bring yourself up, spiraling the arms up. La rodilla abierta, you're going to open the knee, hips adelante, brazos arriba, take your arms up for a moment, and then open. Good. From here, let this hand of the bent leg, la mano de la pierna doblada, can come down. Este brazo arriba, take this top arm up. You can move your gaze, your vista to pulgar arriba, your gaze to your top thumb. Muy bien. And now desde aquí, from here, put your hand on your hip. Y estiramos la rodilla adelante, so stretch your front knee. And then remember your ribs. Recuerda las costillas. We're going to lengthen them and pull the top rib cage down. Good. Tuck this top scapula, la scapula arriba, onto your columna, onto your spine. Good. And then we're estirando aquí, Trikonasana. Good. So remember, it's easy to let all your weight sink in your top body here, but remember, your weight is in your feet in these standing poses. Vamos a poner el peso del cuerpo en los pies. All right, y ahora, now your hand to your cadera. And from here, I'm going to just bend this knee out a little bit and step my back foot in un poquitito, and then walk this hand out. And wherever it is you find your weight, gathered in that right heel, lift the left leg up. Remember, tuck that shoulder blade, la scapula arriba, onto your columna. So your chest, el pecho puede abrir, your chest can open. Beautiful. Energy and length through both legs. Muy bien, muy bien. Let's lower your top leg down. Exhale, push through both feet and bring yourself up. And then once again, just lightly move the body
So if you had any quirks, any kinks in that sequence, you're sort of letting it go. Good, circulando las muñecas, los codos, los hombros, la cadera, good, tobillos, your ankles, your rodillas, your knees. Muy bien. Okay, so we'll practice a little bit of balancing and external rotation. Levantado, so up. So I'm going to again put my weight on my right foot, lift my talón izquierdo, my left heel, and then check in with what my hips did. So can I pull isquiones together? Can I pull my sitting bones together as I open my left knee out to the side? Put the foot there on the shin for a moment. Brazos aquí adelante. So press through hands and feet, all four of them, right, to help us balance. See if you can extend all the way up again. Scapula is pulling down the back. La columna, la espalda. Let's open the arms. Exhale, release, and just stretch through the feet. Good. Let's try that pose on the other side. So otra postura, otro lado. So placing that left foot into the floor and lifting your talón derecho, and then open the hip. When the hip opens, isquiones, your sitting bones, pull together. Again, you can feel the shoulder blades pull onto the back. Front ribs pull down. Lift the leg. Good. Palmas juntas. So you're going to push through palms. Push through your heel. But if it feels nice, vamos a estirar. Brazos arriba. Continuing to push there. And then abrimos. We open the arms. Muy bien. Taking that foot right back down. So we're going to go up and try that a little higher on the thigh. One pose is not harder or better. The shin variation versus the thigh variation, they just challenge the leg, particularly the supporting leg, in two different ways. What you don't want is the foot on the knee at all. So try to put it on a stable bone where the whole foot is on one bone. So I'm going to lift up now, taking my heel up, 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 either to the shin, or if you'd like, up on the femur, letting the knee joint open to the side. Remember, recuerda tus isquiones, your sitting bones. And we're going to try to gather the weight into the heel, squeeze the shoulder blades together, brazos arriba si quieres. Guys, remember, a lot of your support comes from the back of you, through the external rotators, through the hamstrings. Exhale, release the arms, release the foot, and relajamos. Once again, just let your body float out of that pose. Super bien, muy bien. And so now I'm going to take my weight on my left side, right heel up, open the knee, feel your sits bones. So foot to the shin, your pantorrilla, or to your femur. Good. Press the foot and the thigh together as you're squaring the hips. Good. So connect to all of those sensations. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to work on it. Good. Exhale, brazos arriba. And exhaling to release all the way back down. Muy bien. So let's try this. We're going to put a little blanket here. I'm putting a blanket in the center of my mat. And yo voy a arrodillarme. I'm going to come onto my knees for a moment. Hands here. Let me check the time. Okay. So from here with your rodillas on your manta, push your shin bones, your espinillas abajo. Good. And again, I'm just going to pull the elbows together. Try to open up in my chest.
And then exhale, move my thigh bones back, 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 letting my head come down. Good. From here, I'm going to inhale like I move my weight back towards my feet. And exhale, take my hands to the inner thighs, move my elbows out. Another big stretch. Good. Inhale, bringing yourself up. Now, if you like, keeping your muslos verticales, your vertical thighs, move your torso a little bit further back. And you can keep your head lifted for now. You really focus on bringing the thighs up. And then let's exhale, bring your palms clasped together. And la cabeza abajo, your head down. Opening your chest. So stretching your chest and letting the arms move back. Stretching también los hombros. Stretching your shoulders also. So now let the weight move back once again towards your talones. And then let your hands, if they'd like, can move to your heels. And your head can move all the way back. So these are all options. No one has to do this. Obviously, this is a full Ustrasana. One more big breath. And then we'll exhale, let that rise up. Good. So from here, I want you to, so I know at least one of us is taking care of forearms today. So I'm just going to show you a tripod headstand, which is a little different than the way we normally do headstand. And again, no one has to come all the way up, but maybe play with these engagements, see what you find. So my hands, my palms are on the floor. I'm going to take the top of my head up. And from here, just lift my hips any amount. So most of us will find that this feels much easier than the way we normally practice headstand. So elbows can pull in line with the shoulders, and you can walk your knees kind of till they are on your humerus bones. And then maybe your toes pull up and together. And then you could pull your knees together. And then perhaps lift the thigh bones up. And then there's a world where you can reverse all of that, letting the knees come back down, feet to the floor, and exhale, just come out. Good. So practice just a little stretch of your neck side to side. Muy bien. And then from here, let's go ahead and move toward a Sarvangasana. So shoulder stand. So we're going to let your blanket stay there in the middle of the mat. Stretch your 10 toes forward. And then I'm going to take a little bit of boat on my way, Navasana, on the way down. So pull your shoulder blades together. Lift your left thigh up so the knee comes over the hip. Opposite thigh up so your shin bones face the sky. 2 arms out. Breathe. Good. Exhale. Hands right back down. Open your hips and stretch a little bit forward. Good. So let that low back release. And then let's try it again. So you're going to exhale. Now lifting 2 legs. You've got a little bit of weight on your sitting bones and a little bit of weight on your tailbone. So it's like a tripod or a little stool. Now, if you can extend the 2 legs all the way and then extend the 2 arms. 5 breaths. Good. Exhale, bending the knees. From here, I'm going to just slowly roll my torso down to the floor. Let my head come down to the mat. Tuck the shoulder blades onto my back. And let's exhale, pull the knees up. So try just lifting your tailbone with the knees up just a few times. So I want you to see if when you lift your tailbone, there's no pressure on your neck. You're really just isolating that work in the low part of the body. Your palms stay pressing down. And then I'm going to try taking my two legs up, lifting my thighs and coming down. Subiendo los muslos y bajando. Lowering and lifting. 2. And now from here, if it feels nice, I'm going to let my shoulders or my toes come over my shoulders and walk myself into halasana pose. So the shoulder blades are together, fingertips are reaching away from the body. Good. And then if you can, bend at the elbows, hands to your hips, bend at the knees. And you could just rest here or take the knees over the hips or take the shin bones all the way up. And exhale, walk your hands down the ribs, taking your chin away from your chest and letting the legs extend fully. So it's important to use the muscles of the legs to help hold them up. So again, heels are going to reach towards your sitting bones, toes are going to lift. Good. When you've had enough of this pose, vamos a bajar. You're going to lower the legs, thighs pull out. Exhale, slowly release those bones. Back down to the floor, elbows in the mat. And you can let the head come up and stretch your throat. So this is just a nice Matsasana fish pose with one leg extended, with two legs extended. Couple breaths. And from here, exhale, release the feet. Elbows in. And push your feet into the floor. Lift the pelvis up. Good. A little Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Releasing that back down. Walk your feet, your talones to your hands, your manos. And then hips up. And then exhaling to release that. Heels again towards your sits bones. Brazos arriba. Palms here under your shoulders. And pushing into your hands. See if you can lift up. Good. Taking a little Urdhva Dhanurasana. Exhale, coming down, letting the head come down. Letting your knees come over your chest. Let's just rock your back, taking those back bends away by creating a little twist. So you're clearing the back. Beautiful. And from here, let's just let the feet come into the floor. And let your body rest. Descansa aquí. Good. And when you feel ready, podemos mover dedos de la mano, dedos del pie. You can move your hands and feet. Circulamos las muñecas. You can circle your ankles and wrists. Take your arms up.
Draw your knees sobre el pecho, knees over the chest, rock your back, lado y lado. And then empujamos por el piso, we'll push through the floor, bring ourselves up. And nos sentamos juntos. Or just stay on the foot. You stay there, Gala. Relax. Bueno, your practice is a gift. Tu práctica es un regalo. Muchas gracias. Disfruta el resto del día. Namaste.